WrestleZone presents Lost in the Midcard. Here are your hosts, Jeremy Bennett and Matt Black. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where I turned 45 today and a GOAT is world champion once again. It is Lost the Midcard. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in as we are here each and every Monday night, 7:10 Eastern, 6:10 Central, 4:10 on that West Coast. And we're going to be talking about All In, very tremendous pay-per-view from this past weekend, and then set the table for Bash in Berlin, which will be this Saturday afternoon on the Cock. And thanks to everybody for joining in the chat. Cheryl, Uncle Howdy, MK, Mark Cho, Corey. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Yes, Corey, rest in peace, Sid. Unfortunately, Psycho Sid we learned that Psycho Sid passed away today. One of the great villains of my childhood and teenage years in the WWE and NWA, WCW, was a great heel and had a great career. Unfortunately, one time his leg snapped in half. That was not pretty, but
one of the most disturbing moments in pro wrestling history, honestly.
Oh man, Mike M saying All In pay-per-view of the year so far. I don't know if I'll go that far, but I mean it is a damn good show. And Mark Cho showing us his cock. Thank you, Mark Cho. Appreciate that. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. Let me level out the camera here. There we go. Make sure to subscribe to WrestleZone on YouTube, all one word, and hit that bell icon so you know every time we go live. And on our video, give us a thumbs up. Help us spread the word to as many people as possible. And give us a comment in the video, too. That helps us out a lot. So appreciate you guys jumping in today. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing, my friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, brother.
Hopefully many more to come.
Got a high noon vodka seltzer here.
You're doing fine. I'm just doing fine. Just got some vitamin water here. You know,
it's actually the only night I'm staying in tonight. Actually, I think I'm probably going out almost every night this week. I got something going on with trivia hosting and doing some karaoke. And yeah, I'm off my main job until the day after Labor Day. So gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be like before I know it, vacation is gonna be over before I know it, which is wild. But that's how it works.
Vacations never last as long as you want them to.
No. Then I work 4 days and I fly out to Denver and have a 4-day weekend for going to see Incubus in concert the week after Labor Day. So got a couple more days to take off too once I get back to work, and then get back into the swing of things to end the year. But let's get into our main topic, and that is what happened on Sunday afternoon here in the States. It was AEW All In from Wembley Stadium in London, England. And gotta say, it was a pretty damn good show from top to bottom. Not much to complain about. We'll get into each one of these individually, but Matt, what were your overall thoughts on the All In pay-per-view?
Honestly, besides one match that did not go as well as I would hope to have gone, I really enjoyed the show from top to bottom. I adore afternoon professional wrestling pay-per-views.
Hell yeah.
The 1 to 4, the 1 to 5, run time is so freaking lovely. And then you still have, so much time left in the day, and you're not exhausted afterwards because you got to watch it in the middle of the afternoon. I don't care if it's overseas in the States, wherever. If WWE and AEW just wanted to adopt all of their pay-per-views running on Saturday and Sunday afternoons, I would love that.
Probably not going to happen, but
I know it's probably not going to happen, but man, I would love it. I think that would be fantastic for the fans. It's great for us in the States. It's great for the overseas viewer who's not up at 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning to watch the shows. I think it's a big win all around. So that's my opinion.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll miss Bash at Berlin because I'm going to be at the first Husker game of the season. So I will, and then so I will be at the game. I'll be bar hopping before the game, and then
practice for what? What do you mean practice? You gotta let me know what's going on, Daryl.
talking about practice.
Hard to hear from you anymore, man. What do you mean practice?
Talking about practice.
What?
Not the game.
What are you doing?
Not the game that we die for. We're talking about practice.
I gotta know. I gotta know what the practice is about.
Daryl jumping in on my birthday. Have we had a show on my birthday before? Oh, there you go, football coach.
I will be perfectly honest, Daryl. I did not remember the fact that you were a football coach, but it also doesn't surprise me.
He's like, you know this, man.
I honestly don't recall you ever telling me that.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we've ever had a show on my birthday. I don't know. I can't remember. It's hard to remember. Almost 10 years of doing this now, which is wild. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever done one of these shows on one of our birthdays until today. I not that I can recall anyway.
Thank you, D. Appreciate it. Yeah, and it's funny because today on my birthday is actually like the most slowest day of my week, outside of having to make a 90-minute round trip because a wallet fell out in the street later or earlier today, which was a whole fun story. But everything's
like
okay.
I told you, just be happy it was still there.
Yeah, it was a small town, thankfully, so it was still on the street when about an hour later when the bartender picked it up there because Mom and I had some lunch at a place I used to actually cook for in the bar. I was a cook in the bar there when I was 15, a long time ago. So, Steven Chambers, thank you so much. Hangman win the title. Yeah, I would assume he's going to eventually.
Say yes.
Yeah,
I would say by this time next year, Heyman will at least have had a reign as AEW World Champion. I think it would be nuts to even fathom the fact that over the course of the next year, Heyman wouldn't have a second reign with that title.
Especially with as good as he's done as a heel now, as just psychotic cowboy. It's been tremendous, and the new theme has grown on me. I've always liked the new theme, but the original theme was awesome. But this theme fits this Hangman, and I think as a heel, he's gonna obviously it's gonna be dealing with Swerve in the near future, and then who knows where he goes from there. The pre-show 1, 2, 3 matches in the pre-show. They packed in a lot of multi-person tag matches here to get a lot of people on the card. Tommy Bill.
I just want to say for the record, this does not sound fun.
Oh geez, yeah, I'm not going to be.
That will be the first. That will likely be the first ever AEW pay-per-view I will not see live.
Yeah,
that does not sound fun at all. I don't like that when WWE does it, and I don't feel like I'm going to be waking up at 6 or 7 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning to freaking watch.
You got that right, 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
you said it right. But
no interest.
The first match: Tommy Billington, Kip Sabian, Rocky Romero, Kyle Fletcher, Leo Rush, Action Andretti, Top Flight. The good guys. Well, I guess I'd say the good guys defeated the bad guys, but Lethal and Singh are kind of good guys now. They defeated Lethal, Singh, Agogo, Davari, Private Party, Dark Order. And then Willow and Tomohiro Ishii defeated Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. I have not seen this match yet. Matt, how was Stokely? Was it pretty hilarious?
He was the best then on 0 Hour.
Yeah.
In my opinion, when he hit the spine buster on Ishii and turned around to pose and Ishii got right back up.
I need to watch that.
Amazing. Yes, you need to watch that match. It was fantastic. That was my favorite thing on 0 Hour. Although I will say the interactions between Satnam Singh and Leo Rush
Yeah, I saw a picture
in
of that.
that match where it was pretty damn great too. That was the highlight of that match for me.
And then Dustin Rhodes with Sammy Guevara, Shibata, the Von Erichs defeated Undisputed Kingdom in Cage of Agony. Man has the Undisputed Kingdom. They need Adam Cole back so bad.
And honestly, I'm questioning if I'm questioning when Adam Cole returns if he's even going to want anything to do with this faction.
Right?
Because it's so dead in the water. Like you almost want to just maybe he'll come back and restart the Undisputed Elite or something because this faction sucks right now, dude.
Yeah, because
Like Wardlow vanished off the face of the earth. It's literally just Bennett, Taven, and Strong, and it's not a good faction. It's a good trios or a tag team, but I have trouble even trying to buy them as like a legitimate faction group.
they really haven't had any interesting stories with the Undisputed. They try to right off the bat, obviously, but they really have not had anything interesting. Obviously, that the slow progress of Adam Cole's recovery is playing a big part into that. But yeah,
I'm hoping we see him back soon. I really, really hope so.
I mean, it would make sense if he forms a different faction and as a babyface because now MJF is a heel. You still got to pay that off sometime down the line. At least you think. I'd assume Tony still thinks that's gonna. When Cole comes back, I'm assuming Tony is thinking about having that as a feud down the line. Just because you never finished the story really there. Yes, during the pre-show, they announced that Grand Slam is going to come to Australia February 15th next year in Brisbane, Australia. It's going to be the debut of AEW there. They also announced that Forbidden Door is coming to London next year, August 24th, 2025. No venue has been announced yet. What are your thoughts about Forbidden Door coming to London, England now?
Well, it depends on how ambitious they wish to be with a show next year. They could either do Craven Cottage or they might go to the O2 Arena. I don't foresee them. Doing Wembley next year for Forbidden Door makes 0 sense. So I don't think they're going. They'll go back to Wembley for All In 2 years from now. But
yeah.
I think for Forbidden Door, I think the O2 Arena or Craven Cottage, depending on their ambition, is probably their best bet next year.
MK Von Erichs GYV signed with AEW. I don't know about the Von Erichs, but GYV almost sounds like it's almost a done deal. I don't think Tony has put out the graphic yet.
They didn't put out the graphic, so to me, it's not. I don't know for sure, but honestly, if I'm AEW, I'm not featuring them on my biggest show of the year in a big storyline with the tag champs and FTR if they're not under contract. But that's just me. I wish somebody would have asked about them to Tony at the presser after the event, and they didn't. So.
And Tony might be holding off on that just because they announced Ricochet was signed. So they may have been holding off on that and announcing that maybe on Wednesday or something like that.
I guess we'll find out.
Bob from Facebook here. Thanks for tuning in. I think MJF and Adam storyline is over. MJF has said as much when he returned, but yeah, that's just him.
Well, MJF has also said that Adam Cole is dead and we'll never ever see him again.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how much we could take MJF at his word of anything that man says.
No.
Because I have it on good authority that Adam Cole is in fact not dead. And he will be back. So
he is. He has risen from the halls of PWG. Is no longer dead.
Yeah, that man's died a lot in the pro wrestling apparently.
Oh man! I just saw the picture of Sasha and Mercedes Moné and Camille and the 3 corgis posing with the Brits there. That was pretty good. So we kick off the show actually at the end of the end of 0 Hour. You may have forgot this was maybe the best moment of 0 Hour. Saraya coming out, which Matt predicted. Complaining.
I predicted it to be on the main show, but they didn't have time.
Yeah.
Like they literally.
Oh, they barely had time for the celebration at the end of the show.
Exactly. So Yeah, putting that on 0 hours, very, very smart.
They had a hard out at 4 Central. Saraya complaining that she's not on the card, and after 15 months, I can't believe it's been so long, Jamie Hayter makes her return, a tremendous pop in her home country as Jamie just absolutely cleans house. Good to see her back, rocking the Becky Lynch orange hair. I see some people in the comments were saying that too. But Hayter was very much missed, and good to see her back. Is that, I've heard rumors about her and Britt not getting along anymore? Is that true or not?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how factual that is either way. And if that's the case, there's a lot of fingers being pointed at Britt right now in terms of backstage problems. So
Yeah, and her match didn't look that good
I'm
either.
hoping it's not sure. That was the. I figured we would talk about it when we got there, but that's the
Yeah.
match I didn't like, and I was really looking forward to it too, and it bummed me out.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit, but yeah, we wanted to mention that was what we were pointing at, and then on top of that, yeah, it's not look. It just a lot of not good news for Britt in the past month here in AEW. Let's kick things off with a bang on the main card. The London ladder match for the AEW Trios Championships, the Patriarchy, Bang Bang Gang, House of Black, Pac, and the Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club.
Is he a part of the Blackpool Combat Club?
I hope so. Well, he hasn't bled yet for them.
I'm just saying he was out there at the end of the show celebrating with Danielson. I'm just like, is he one of them now officially? Is he officially in the BCC?
He's got to bleed.
I'm curious. I need to know these things.
He hasn't bled yet, so he's not official.
He's fought all of those guys. I'm sure he's bled against one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can't really turn around without seeing blood in AEW.
See, there ain't nothing wrong with that. The right there.
The Bastard Combat Club.
Yes,
I like that. MK.
Yeah, the Bastard Combat Club. It's great.
What are we looking at here? Oh yeah, that one ladder looked like a goddamn step ladder, dude. Especially because there was that gigantic one. But yeah, that one
those ladders were small. I think they went over there without the American ladders because the ladders in the UK are not even close to being the same, and they're like, shit, we need to make some ladders. And I think they probably just built some ladders when they were over there in the UK, and like, this is what we have to deal with.
They went over to Mike.
Ladders were weird.
They went over to Microman's house and asked him if he could borrow a step ladder.
the WLC ladder.
Ozzy is Brie with AEW. No, I think she's. I think
I would not be surprised if we do see a run with her and Nikki in AEW at some point.
I hope so. I know Nikki.
I will definitely not roll. I will not roll in that out.
I know Nikki is probably going to return to wrestling. I don't know about Brie, honestly, but if
they do it, they do it together.
Yeah, because there's money in it.
I don't think they do it separately. So
there's money in it. Yeah.
If one comes, they both come, and they could get a couple matches out of them in AEW. Working with people they're familiar with, and it would make money for them.
Bob in the chat from 27 after, is Britt Baker the reason Cody left because Brandy and her couldn't get along? No,
I have never heard that.
No,
I would like to believe that that's not the case, because that would be a really bad thing to end up having come out.
The lure of being promised to be WWE champion is a big thing for Cody because of what happened to Dusty when it got stripped away. So being WWE champion was a big thing for Cody, and I think probably the biggest catalyst in him going over to AEW. But as it goes.
Bob, if you have a link to that, please share it in the chat, because this is something that I've never seen before.
Yeah. So the ladder match, man, very good, as you could tell. In an AEW match, you're not going to get disappointed in a ladder match. I thought really, like, one of the guys that shined in this match, in my opinion, was Nick Wayne. Of course, many GCW matches under his belt. He was right at home in this type of environment. Props to Kill
And
Switch.
they don't typically have great ladders over there either.
No. And Kill Switch, I mean, he's injured and yet took that bump. Props to him doing that.
We're gonna talk about Kill Switch later.
Oh yeah, we will.
Oh, we're gonna be talking about I got some things to say about Kill Switch.
But it was a tremendous match. I love the part where Juice puts up the chair when Mama Wayne uses the spray. That was hilarious. I thought Mama Wayne was going to take a bump or two in that match, but she got saved.
She's not trained to bump.
No.
Not anything crazy anyway.
Because she never was a part of GCW, maybe in the crowd, but she was never in stories or parts of matches. For someone not being in the wrestling world, Mama Wayne doing a hell of a job in AEW, in my opinion, with the patriarchy. That's a faction that, has really had some meaning to it, unlike the Undisputed Kingdom. The patriarchy is a faction that has had a lot of it's great. I mean, Christian is seriously, I mean, is he still, I would say, the best heel? Well, maybe MJF is now back. It may be a discussion, but Christian is seriously up there for one of the best heels in professional wrestling right now. So Matt will have to look at that YouTube link later and see what that is with
not
Cody.
Letting me copy it.
Damn
it.
Damn.
I'm going to type it out in a WordPad.
Wow, you're going to type that out.
Yep, I'm going to type it out
dedication.
so I can look at it later.
That's dedication. MK saying he thought the entrances were great. Swerve and Brian, MJF and Ospreay. I've laughed my ass off when Orange Cassidy did the Mr. Bean entrance. That was hilarious. Swerve's was great. And, anytime you get one of the members of UGK rapping you down to the ring, that is definitely a big deal. Legendary rap group, Underground Kings. Love them. So I thought that was good. I mean, even though it wasn't the best performance, Jericho having Fozzy out there is always kind of cool to see. Mercedes Moné with the corgis. Those corgis are so adorable. I thought that was a great entrance as well. And of course, Ospreay, man, I was, one of the things I was looking forward to the most was hearing how many tens of thousands of people that were in Wembley yell Ospreay. And boy, man, that was such a cool entrance there as well. Kill Switch picking up Christian at the end of the match, putting him on his shoulders to help climb to the ladder, but Pac got back up and kicked Christian onto Luchasaurus and grabbed the title. A very unlikely trio.
Bob, that link took me to an advertisement for NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV, so I don't really think that works.
Do you not have ad for YouTube?
No, like literally the video was for an ad for NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV.
Oh, okay.
So
try
again, my friend.
Which is cheaper than Apple, apparently. Apparently Apple's charging $750 for your Sunday Ticket.
I don't know. I just use RedZone.
Yeah, I use RedZone too. So this team got put together, qualified on Collision, and wins the Trios Championships. I think Pac and the Blackpool Combat Club fit well together. I think Pac and Claudio probably been friends for a long ass time, I would assume. And it's, considering Pac lost his other two trios members to are reportedly going to the WWE, I think it was a nice gesture to put the titles on them, and I think it's well deserved. I think this is Wheeler's first AEW title. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think the only thing he had before this was the pure title in ROH.
And so, well, this might be. Is this Claudio's first title, or has he had the tag titles?
No, this is probably Claudio's first AEW championship as well. So
and Pac's been international.
Big things for all three of those. And Pac's been trios champion before. Yep. That triangle held those titles before. So
Pac and Pac's number one contender for Will Ospreay, which will be at All Out, right, Matt?
yes.
Next up after that, we got the AEW Women's Championship, Timeless, Toni Storm. What'd you think of the painting of Tony at Wembley in 1932, Matt? That was pretty good, wasn't it? Matt's
On the
focused.
what?
Timeless Toni Storm's painting from Wembley
Oh,
in
yeah.
1932.
No,
Mark Cho said he sent you
entrances
the
were
link.
great.
You don't have to worry
Art
about
Show
typing
sent
it.
me something from Conan, and I don't fucking care what Conan says because he's an
No.
idiot.
That's true. Toni Storm, Mariah May.
If Cody said something, that's what I'm interested in. Like, I don't give a fuck what Conan has to say.
Yeah. I mean, Conan's not even been in that locker room, so.
Oh, God, this is from Dutch Mantel. No, guys, if it ain't coming out of Cody's mouth, I don't want to fucking hear about it. I don't care about Dutch. I don't care about Conan. Like, they're just spitting bullshit rumors for clicks. That's all they care about. You know, fuck those old head podcasters, man. They're not worth anybody's time in 2024.
End of the match, Mariah May grabs the bloody shoe. Storm took it and cried instead of hitting May with the shoe. And that was kind of the beginning of the end as May hit her version of the Storm Zero on Timeless Toni Storm to become your new women's champion. So I got that one right. You got the trios one right? Did you predict that they would be in it and be the champs?
Well, I think I called Blackpool Combat Club. I don't think I called, or maybe I called Pac and Lucha Bros. I don't freaking remember.
Yeah, I went Bang Bang Gang there, but I did have Mariah May here. What were your thoughts on the women's AEW women's title match there, Matt?
I thought the match was excellent. I thought both women killed it, and like their story is far from over. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for the two of them. Had Tony won, the story could have, some people could have argued that would
Oh
have been a
my
finality and would have been done. So
Mark Cho. I'll send you
I'm
links
gonna
to Cornette, Bully Ray, and
I'm
Disco Inferno.
I'm gonna smack him.
Those are Matt's top 3 podcasts, Mark Cho. How did you know that?
Yeah, top 3 hated maybe. Yeah, okay, losing my train of thought. I love the match, but I knew after that match was done, I knew Britt and Mercedes had their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
And that did not help matters for them
No.
later on.
No. Next up. Hi guys. Somebody tweeted out a very long men's bathroom line during
I saw that
during the match or the opening or the start of once people realized what was next.
Yeah, because when you set up Fozzy to play on the stage, you're giving it away what's coming up next.
And so the men's pisser line was very long for this, but still it was not without a great moment. Hook and Taz with dueling Taz missions to end the match was absolutely beautiful. The hug from father and son as well. Man, that was just a great moment, wasn't it, Matt?
I enjoyed this match more than I thought I was going to be perfectly honest. I thought
the cricket balls and bat, that was fun.
I thought it was fun. I think the UK's unwavering love for all things Big Bill is something that needs to be studied and tested.
Yeah, what is up with that?
In the world going forward? I thought the idea of Jericho hitting Big Bill and Big Bill crashing through the table was genius.
Yeah.
Because they weren't going to boo Hook. They would have booed Hook to unmercifully if Hook would have been the one to put Big Bill through the table. So having Jericho do it, which might have been an audible that was called after Collision in Cardiff. And if it was, kudos to everybody involved for thinking that far ahead.
Yeah.
I thought it all worked out perfectly.
Do you foresee a face turn from Bill?
Here's my problem with that. Would it be smart to face turn Bill if he gets a big reaction in Illinois on Wednesday in Champaign? If he gets if he's on Dynamite and he gets another big reaction and they carry over from the UK, yes. But if he gets the same reaction that he always gets in the States, there's really no point.
I think
But we already have the whole big man who should be turning on his pain in the ass leader, and they still haven't paid that one off yet. So I don't need two of that same storyline going on right now. Thank you very much.
I think Bill is being set up to go on a singles run here somewhere down the line. I just have a feeling on that
What do you
one.
think about MK's decision?
MK saying time to retire. I thought they were going to at Wembley, honestly, and
Well,
I don't.
that's what I suggested last week. I would like Hook to come out on Dynamite on Wednesday and hand the title over to Taz.
It's not needed.
And say I'm going to go out and he's going to go after like
He'll rip the
TNT title now, or
he'll rip the plate off of the Jericho's name on it. He'll rip that off and hand it to Taz.
He had it with him at the scrum afterwards, and that was already gone.
It was already gone.
So I think him giving up that title at this point would be the best thing for his career, because as much as I enjoy the FTW championship and the lineage, I think it's kind of been it's just kind of been an anchor on Hook's back, holding him down, because he has to come back to the title.
Man, imagine this, man.
Something else.
Imagine this. Hook, Samoa Joe, and Shibata in a feud with Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler. Man, that match is going to be so many titles changing hands. We probably thought this would be a foregone conclusion. Next up, the AEW Tag Team Championships, the Bucks, the Acclaimed, and FTR. And
yeah, after 3 title changes in a row, I was very confident the Bucks were retaining.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be FTR, but the Bucks did retain. A very good match.
I'm really mad Max Caster didn't get pinned. That's my biggest complaint coming out of this match, is it should have been Max Caster. It should have taken the pin.
Max playing for both sides, hitting an EVP trigger, then doing a shatter machine. That was kind of funny. But in the end, it was the EVP trigger on Dax that ended the match for the Bucks throughout 12 minutes. I thought it was a solid match. Wasn't an all-timer, you know.
It was too short to be an all-timer. It was only like 12 or 13 minutes.
I think if it would
So I think they should have taken some time away from Mercedes and Britt and given it to this match instead.
Yeah. Or took the Acclaim out of it.
Especially after we saw how the way that match turned out. I think the three-way tag match would have benefited from a couple more minutes.
And then after the match, oh baby, Zach Gibson, Liverpool's #1, James Drake, confronted the Young Bucks and then attacked FTR. And it's good to see the grizzled young veterans in AEW, isn't it, Matt?
I hope they're signed.
Me too.
They need to be signed. I've been screaming from the mountaintops to anybody who will listen for months that AEW's tag team division needs a lot of help right now. I think the grizzled young veterans would be huge. And I still stand firm. If Motor City has not put pen to paper with WWE yet, move heaven and earth to bring those guys into your company. Yeah, exactly. Pay up and bring those guys in, because I think you bring in Grizzly Young Veterans and Motor City Machine Guns at the same time, and you have a chance of, really turning the corner on this division and making it stronger again heading into the end of the year.
Next up was the Casino Gauntlet match. As we knew, Orange Cassidy coming in at #1 with the Mr. Bean entrance. That was hilarious. #2, Kazuchika Okada. How about that pairing to kick off the match?
Not what I expected. I expected Ricochet at 2.
Yeah.
So
man, still
to get Okada in it too, I was surprised by that, because I thought they'd want to give, Ricochet his own solo entrance where all eyes would be on him, because the match hadn't started yet. So I was surprised that they waited as long as they did to put him in. But, you can't go wrong with Okada, getting the Okada Bucks and and all that for the entrance too works just as well.
Yeah, they use their power to put him into number 2. Yeah. Even though Ricochet made his AEW debut and it's awesome, and I love Ricochet, we love Ricochet. The moment of the match was number 3 when Nigel fucking McGuinness comes out. Holy shit! 12 years since his last match, he looked
great.
My God, he looked to be in
great.
tremendous shape. Our
He looked in
dream.
great shape, and he held his own with everybody he stepped toe to toe with.
He looked good in the ring.
Like, I'm sure he doesn't want to do full time, but man,
you got to have a Danielson match.
I was just gonna say, I think it would be a crime against humanity if we don't get a Danielson Nigel match before everything is all said and done.
I cannot wait until Collision this week to see what he says about Christian. He was the biggest ass kisser of Christian.
Hit him with the spear.
He hit him with a spear.
Christian Cage speared him out of his boots.
One thing I forgot to mention was, and somebody tweeted this, and it was one of the most hilarious tweets of the day. Mariah May kissed Nigel McGuinness during the match, and that all of a sudden gave him the power to come out of retirement.
My God.
Man, I was so happy because as much shit as he talks about Brian Danielson, I just pulled a JR there. I just pulled a JR there. Oh, we have to have a Nigel and Brian showdown, man. Oh, yes.
I just feel the planets have aligned.
Yes.
This is the perfect opportunity.
Yes.
You know, and especially if Nigel wants to keep working for a few years, they don't need to go to it immediately.
What caused him to retire? Once Danielson
drops his full-time run, he's going to come back and work for them every now and then. Like they could do it you know, All In 2026 in London if they wanted to. You know, I just hope that it happens. Like, I just feel like it would be a very big ball drop by AEW not to take advantage of this and give us this match at some point.
I mean, both Matt and I are humongous Nigel fans in the ring. And then obviously he is one of the best collar commentators out there today. In a world,
honestly, him and Shivani remind me a lot of a modern day Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. They really, really do. And even Shivani even hit him with the "Will you stop?" On Collision on Saturday. I'm just like, yeah, you guys get it. You guys are exactly who you two remind me of, and I adore those two together. They crack me up.
So his last match, it was due to spinal injuries from a pile driver, and his last match was against Danielson at Glory by Honor 8, the final countdown. That was his last match. But man, I was just over the moon happy for Nigel. That was just completely great to see. Stephen Chambers saying Wrestle Dream in Washington. That's good. I like Matt's idea of Wembley. Maybe Forbidden Door. I mean, that's not really a forbidden. I mean, he's an announcer. Maybe it is a Forbidden Door announcer versus wrestler. But yeah, maybe All In. I don't want to wait till 2026 though, man. Wrestle Dream is.
I'm just saying, like, as long as it's done eventually.
Yeah, and I'm
okay with it. Like, don't let this opportunity slip through their fingers.
And I want full out promos and shit talk. And man, we're gonna be in for a treat if we get a full on program with those two. Number 4, Kyle O'Reilly coming into a good reaction. The London crowd gave Kyle a nice ovation. That was good to see. So Kyle coming in to help his conglomerate mate, Orange Cassidy. Number 5, Zack Sabre Jr.
G1 Climax winner.
Jesus H Christ, the counters and holds he can do. And he's doing it in a gauntlet match of all things, which is basically a scramble. This type of deal is
when Nigel tapped him on the shoulder, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go.
Oh,
I was just like, let's fucking go.
Two generations of Brits.
Let's get this match popping, man. I was excited.
2 generations of Brits staring each other down for the first time ever. That was just gold right there. Number 6 was Roddy Strong and Mark Briscoe completing the conglomeration at 7, followed by Hangman Page looking like someone pissed in his Cheerios.
As always.
Jeff Jarrett, gigantic pop for Jeff. The face turn.
When they return to the UK, I need them to do Jeff Jarrett versus Big Bill.
Yeah.
just because I want to see who the crowd boos.
Nobody.
Well, maybe they just chant both these guys for the entire match. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to see Jeff Jarrett versus Big Bill when they return to the United Kingdom. I feel that's a match that needs to happen.
The Jeff Jarrett story of 2024. Who could have foretold that? Like 3 years ago?
Nobody. No. Nobody.
Boy, whoever put that together, if it's Jeff himself, man, brilliant, man. Next up is the one and only at number 10, Ricochet making his AEW debut to a thunderous pop. And, oh, yeah, okay, so he said, Nigel, oh, yeah, it says 12 years ago, so it was 2012 is when he retired. 2009 was the start of his troubles, though, Mark Cho.
Because in TNA, he wrestled as Desmond Wolfe.
Yeah, but he had his spinal issues in 2009. And so his last match in Ring of Honor was against, his last match as Nigel McGuinness was against Bryan Danielson. How about that? Big moment for Ricochet, big pop for him. I think we're gonna see
We're getting him and Kyle Fletcher on Dynamite.
Oh, as the chat has said,
I think that's gonna be a great start.
As the chat has said, that's gonna be fire. I think we're gonna get more of a Prince Puma style out of Ricochet in AEW as opposed to WWE, which is gonna be tremendous. We're gonna see a lot of stuff out of him that is gonna. If you never watched Lucha Underground, you're gonna get your mind blown, basically. Christian Cage, see what I did there? Christian Cage at number 11, pulling double duty. What a father figure, pulling double duty. And Luchasaurus at 12 scares Christian Cage, but in the end, Lucha just helps Christian again. Matt, the floor is yours.
Hated it.
Yeah.
And it's not like I hated the winner. I'm fine with Christian winning.
Absolutely.
But I hated how he won. I'm so freaking sick and tired of this will he, won't he kill switch Luchasaurus Christian Cage story. It's tired. It's old. It's played out.
Yep.
Luchasaurus is injured right now. So, like, how long is he even going to be around? You could have paid this off in Wembley, and Christian still could have won. You know, he could have turned on Christian, and then he could have been preoccupied when Cage won and beat somebody. Like, they didn't need to do what they did. And I'm so sick of it. They need. I hope he just cost Christian the title.
Were you afraid that he was going to cash in on Bryan
at this point?
Were you afraid he was going to cash in on Bryan?
Not at any point. I would have been more worried. I would have been more worried about the main event had Hangman won. Because if Hangman would have won, I would have expected him to come out and try to make that a triple threat.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
But no, when Cage won, I did not think for 1 second that he was going to get involved in the main event. But look, if they rush right to Danielson and Christian Cage and All Out, and Luchasaurus cost Christian the match, then fine. But if it goes on any longer than that, I can't take it anymore. It's already gone on way too long.
I don't think he's gonna. I think he's going to Money in the Bank it and show up out of nowhere, like after Danielson's been worn out for an hour or something.
It's possible. They certainly teased it as Money in the Bank, capabilities. They were saying they could cash it. They're saying on Collision on Saturday night that the winner could cash in their contract at any time for a title shot, kind of like Christian cashed in on Adam Copeland with Luchasaurus' freaking contract.
Yep.
To get the TNT title back. So I'm assuming it's going to work exactly like that.
Sweet little video introduction for Will Ospreay, followed by an Assassin's Creed themed entrance. I swear to God, the one female breakdancer was the one that got either the silver or gold medal for Tokyo or for Japan at the Olympics. I swear that was her.
I have no idea. I just know the entrance was sick.
Yeah, as Matt said on Twitter on Sunday, Will Ospreay a big fan of Assassin's Creed, so this is kind of a cool thing for him to be a part of, honestly, and it was awesome. I thought it was a sweet. You may complain that it was a product tie-in, but to me, it was a cool entrance. I didn't give a fuck about the product tie-in, and then MJF coming out looking like an Uncle Sam looking motherfucker. And
I want to believe Tony Khan tried to get Living in America.
oh yeah,
Didn't pull it off.
that'd have been cool.
Because he had the Apollo Creed, hat and everything on. I think they tried to get it and they couldn't get it done. That's not a report or anything. That's just my gut instinct that they tried to get it and couldn't get it done in time.
And earlier in the day, MJF saying that someone stole his Dynamite diamond ring. We all know who did that. And
well, he didn't have it at the end of the match, which is what I was expecting. I was expecting him to, show that he had it. So if he doesn't reveal it on Dynamite, if Garcia doesn't reveal the ring on Dynamite, maybe it really was stolen for real.
Shit.
Like I don't know. Like I'm hoping Garcia has it on Dynamite, but if not, that means somebody legit stole it. Some worker at Wembley stole the freaking ring. That's wild to think about.
Absolute banger from these guys. 25, almost 26 minutes long. And he did it, Matt. He did it. The Tiger Driver 91.
Unfortunately, we're gonna have to rush through the rest of this card.
I know, man.
We might.
We could rush through.
Not even have time to get Bash in Berlin at this point.
Well, we could rush through TBS Championship match. It was a disappointment between Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker.
I felt they had zero chemistry, and I was very bummed out about it. I was really looking forward to this match, and it felt like Mercedes was trying to carry Britt the entire time to a good match. They didn't click at all. It was very disappointing to me.
The coffin match for the TNT Championship, Jack Perry, Darby Allin, I thought it was very entertaining. Jack Perry used some real glass, and Darby Allin is no longer undefeated in coffin matches, but we got the return of Sting!
Loved it. Love the Sting return.
Yes, that was beautiful to save Darby from getting lit on fire in the casket. And then the main event was literally what you could call a 5-star classic match of the year contender right there. Bryan Danielson, Swerve Strickland went for 26 minutes. And my God, it was drama. Near falls. I predicted Hangman was going to get involved to cost Swerve, and I was correct. He walked right into another Busaiku and then ended up tapping out to the label lock. Matt, this is going to go down as one of the best matches of the year, isn't it?
Well, Kevin, I don't agree with your statement here because I was severely hyped about Danielson and Swerve, and I was not disappointed in any way, shape, or form. I thought the main event was incredible. And I can be hyped for matches and not be disappointed. And very rarely am I hyped for something that disappoints me, but Britt and Mercedes did.
Yeah.
Danielson and Swerve did not freaking crushed it.
Boy.
One of my favorite main events in recent memory.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be happier for Danielson.
In the end, old Buddy going after the confetti. What a great moment, Buddy. I think it was Jeremy Lambert on there. He said Buddy went into business for himself in the celebration there. I loved it.
Should we try to hit Bash in Berlin?
Let's do it. There's only 5. There's only 5 matches. Tag Team Championship women, Unholy Union, Bianca and Jade. I think this is the beginning of the end of Bianca and Jade, Matt.
I think title change.
I don't. Strap match, Punk McIntyre. It is going to be a tie 1-1 as we end at Bad Blood, Hell in a Cell. CM Punk wins.
I agree. Punk wins Hell in a Cell, Bad Blood. I 100% agree.
Terra Twins, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley against the Judgment Day. I think the Judgment Day are going to find a way to win.
I want Priest and Rhea to win, so I'm going with them.
Undisputed WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, going to be a banger, but Cody's going to retain.
Cody, no question.
And Gunther, Randy Orton for the World Heavyweight Championship, gonna be a banger, but Gunther retains.
Yeah, I don't foresee the only way we get a title change is if it's the women's tag titles.
Chad Gable going after Uncle Howdy. A #1 tournament begins, contenders tournament for the Intercontinental title. There is going to be fallout from Judgment Day and the Terror Twins. Big Bronson Reed taking on Braun Strowman. That'll be a fun one. And Randy Orton's going to be live on Raw. That's going to do it for this week's Lost in the Midcard. I'd like to thank you guys for being in the chat, tuning in. Have yourselves a good rest of the week, and we will catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good one.